Welcome to the Redemption Podcast Show. I'm U.S. Army veteran and poetic human John Krotec.
And I am a former professional fighter, the champion soul, Jason Freebird Freeman. In a sincere effort to help others and to set some records straight, we share our personal stories and scripture and offer real solutions to overcoming the challenges of life.
We appreciate you being here. And remember, the truth
shall set you free.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Redemption Podcast Show. It's been a fun journey so far. I'm here with my co-host, Jason Freebird Freeman, former fighter. We call him the champion soul. He's got his Decide to Fight program and Frontline Warrior Community Outreach program, and he's doing some great things that a lot of people really don't know about to actually help people turn their life around. And
Amen.
And then,
Amen.
yeah, and I have to admit, I've seen
that's
some
our
of the
focus.
Exactly.
That's our focus is to help other people. We've been through the gauntlet. I've been through the gauntlet of life. I'm 47 years old, so therefore I've gained experience, and I want to share it because I believe in my heart that a lot of the things that I've walked through in life, other people are walking through the same thing, and the younger generations that are going to fall into some of the things that I fell into as a kid growing up or as an adult, we can help lead them into a better direction and to believe in themselves.
Absolutely. And, hold on, Tiger. I'm 64 and I've been through the gauntlet. I don't have your story, but I got another story. And who doesn't have a story? We've all got stories. We're all on these personal journeys. And I got to say, the level of hate that's out there in the world today is because people believe they have to hate. You just mentioned belief. That mindset, what we think about, why we think about it. Those are the things we've heard of the law of attraction. My gosh, there's tons of YouTube videos on the law of attraction and what that
does. Law of attraction. Yeah, if you hate, you bring hate in. If you worry, you bring worry in. If you're frustrated and angry all the time, you're going to have frustration and anger kind of following you around. It'll be like
your whole life. I mean, we all have experiences like that. I had a conversation with a real close personal mentor, and we were talking about some of the same things that everybody talks about. And he said, it's pretty simple, John. There's no reason to make this more complex than it actually is. Right. So I'm like listening to him. Even at this age, I'm still kind of like a sponge, right? You can never know enough. And he said, you have people who give and you have people who take. Now think about that. Okay, let that sink in. Thank you for listening to another episode. And then you have, it kind of goes right into this. You have people who create wealth, which can be money, anything, healing, whatever it is. And then you have people who take wealth. So you have people that give value in the world that surrounds them. And then you have people that give no value. God bless them. We're not passing judgment here, but the reality is we have to be, Jason and I have had these talks, we have to be brutally honest with ourselves, and we have to show courage, and we have to be brave. And there is not a human being out there, Jason. I challenge anyone, haters, lovers, whoever you are, there is not a human being out there who has not made a mistake in their life or who has not done something that is egregious in the minds of people. So, let's quit. Let's quit, playing footsie with each other. Let's quit sugarcoating everything. Life is a journey, and we can either go through it giving and creating wealth for ourselves and others, or we can go through it taking that wealth and spreading stuff that is of no value. So there you have it. Mindset, belief. What you believe you will get. You mentioned
Yeah.
worry, but think about it.
As soon as
Take
you
yeah,
as soon
take
as you dig into the belief system, John, and you know this as well as I do, our mind will play tricks on us. But man, when we lead with the heart and we move with action, we actually move and not just talk or hope or wish, but we move and we take action in what we believe in, we get results.
absolutely. And we can sit here like many other people do, and we can quote scripture, which is a good thing because it's kind of teaching. But the reality is this, and it's kind of a challenge too. How brave are you to walk into wherever you have a mirror, whether it's in your bathroom, in your foyer, in your bedroom, to walk in wherever there's a mirror in the place that you live, and we'll look at that person in the mirror and say to yourself that you've actually done everything you can do in your life to be the best you can be. Why do these things keep happening to me? Woe is me. Oh my gosh. The scourge of victimhood. It's always somebody else's
Yeah.
fault. It's what my mom did. It's what my dad did. It's what my grandfather did. It's, we can play that game and we can perpetuate the nonsense for the rest of
Yeah.
our lives
We
and wonder
we have
why
to
the bad things happen to me. Well,
yeah,
maybe it's your belief system.
we have to take our own actions into our own hands. You know, time
It's
will time will tell. Time
yeah,
everything comes to the surface, everything comes back around. You know, whatever you believe in, it can be the same thing that you continuously talk about and dwell over for, and I'm not talking just 5 years, John. I'm talking 20 years. We could be in that same cycle and not believing within ourselves. And you know as well as I do, as we look around and we talk with other people and we network, a lot of people are on the same journey. If it's being at the bottom, or if it's being above ground level, or if it's being at the top of the hill, there are people that are conducted and pulled towards each other just for those reasons. John, you know, I got to say it again. If we're on bottom and we're sucking mud off the bottom, and there's a lot of other people down there feeling like they're stuck in the same pit of hell that they can't seem to get out of. I come to find out, John, that if I don't put action to what I believe, then I won't get no results. But if I don't put my belief system in order, I will never take that next step. If I don't believe in myself, if I don't believe in what I'm doing, or if I don't believe in the people that I surround myself with, then I'm living a life that's it's it's not true. It's not I'm not I'm not going to pull myself out of that pit of living off the bottom. We can fill that cup up, John, and live off the top of that cup of what comes after for the rest of our lives. If we make that if we make that choice, and that's we've we got to go with the heart of of the man on the inside. What is he willing to do to make things happen? You know, we get a lot of people that talk. They do an awful lot of talking, awful lot of downgrading, and people that want to have big aspirations, that want to do a lot of good things in this world. But man, from my experience, there's way too much talking, and there's not enough walking.
well, it's called irresponsibility, failure to take um, responsibility for the way you live your life. You talked about everyone being on this journey, or some people are on this journey. Actually, everybody's on the journey. It's called life.
Yeah, we're
And
on
I
a
got,
different level.
and as hard as some of these things sound, I got news for you. We need to hear them. You know, not everybody is gonna like you, love you. You know, get over yourself. That's the
Yeah.
way life is. People hate, move on.
I
Quit
have a lot of
wallow.
people that don't like me. But I can't sit back and try to uh, accommodate everybody's thought pattern whenever I've got to really focus on myself
Well, we can't,
and
you know, it's a
what's
challenge
around
to
me.
it's a challenge to appease people who have their own weaknesses. You know, that well, they point fingers at you. I remember my wife, and I mean, it took me a long time to you know, she's always teaching me, right? She's been put here
Yeah,
to not only love me, but to teach me. She says, you know, John, every time you're pointing the finger at somebody, what's happening? And I know you've heard this. There's four pointing back at you. So the greatest challenge for any human being, we admit it's not easy and it takes effort, a concerted effort. Your
yeah.
greatest challenge is to embrace your own shortcomings and fix them or deal with them in a different way. So you had a lousy upbringing, right? So what does that mean? You're going to turn to drugs. You're going to go out in the streets and beat everybody up because of the anger that you know you didn't get the puppy dog you wanted when you're in the third grade, and it's all your for you your grandfather's fault. Really? Wow.
Right.
Or the guy that raped me on a neighborhood sleepover, you know, he's the reason that I got passed over for a better grade in school. You know, in the list of you done me
Yep.
wrongs is long. That's
That's
kind
a
of it's
that,
kind of poem.
that's
You
a
know, you done me wrong, you done me wrong, you done me wrong, you done me wrong, and I'm a victim and you owe me. Really? You keep
yeah.
going through life with that mentality, you will have strife the rest of your life. So there you go,
That was
Jason.
poetic
We
too.
just did a
Strife.
poem, man. We just
Yeah.
did a poem. You know, the list of done me wrongs is long. Keep living there, and your life will be full of strife. So the gauntlet, we'll throw down the gauntlet. You know, if you want to bring hate, it's too late because our mind is in a different place, right?
Yeah.
That's
Mind
the
and heart.
That's the experience that Jason's talking about, the Decide to Fight program. His experience in the ring and his experience being down on his knees saying prayers. You know, the Decide to Fight program. It's brilliant.
Things that things can
Proven,
change, John.
well,
Thing.
proven strategies to get you up off the
Yeah.
canvas. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Sign up.
Life
It's
is full. Life is full of ups and downs, and the people that truly know me from my childhood up into where I'm at now, I know they look at me and go, Jason is a hard, extremely hard worker. I've got people in my community that wonder how in the heck I do what I do. But I do what I do because all I know how to do is work hard, give it 100%. Now, is my energy always directed toward the right path that I need to be on? No, but that's why I have my wife. That's why I have a mentor, John, right here that helps keep me on track because I'm like a you know, what do you want to say, a racehorse ready to get out on that track, and and that's all I see. So if I'm in the right direction, if I'm in the right place, results will come, but we have to be able to set ourselves up for success. And John, my Decide to Fight program is a 6 week online course that'll help direct you to get on path. You know, there are times where I've definitely veered off, you know, 5 degrees for years. And then I look at where I'm at. Well, I need to be, I could see where I need to be and what I need to be doing. And that's focused around the family, working on my finances, grabbing a hold of, you know, God's word and really soaking and marinating in the truth. And that's what I represent. I walk out the truth each and every day. But I know that if I didn't have that mindset, if I didn't believe in myself, and if if I didn't take the actions um, to move forward, I wouldn't have been able to come out of some of the things that I've been through, and then to actually take the time. It took a long time, but to build the online course, decide to fight, because for me, I had to decide to fight for what was most important in my life, and there's a lot of battles that are in there that I can't wait to share with the world.
Yeah, and that's great. And these, for those of you who are still here and listening, we thank you for that. These are shameless plugs because that program, Decide to Fight, and I haven't even really talked about the HEARTSCRIBES program, the Poetic Human, and that's a
Yes,
whole
I
other.
love it.
Well,
That's it.
it's like Decide to Fight if you want to fight it out, HEARTSCRIBES if you want to write it out, and both programs are designed to help others find their way.
That's it, man.
They're
We're just
based in personal responsibility and making the choice. It starts with a choice. When I was in my therapy to deal with a childhood assault, oh yeah, a sexual assault, I can remember the therapist staring at me after a few sessions with a smile on her face. And I'm like, what I do now? Did I do
what made it.
something wrong? We always think we've done something wrong. And she said, I like the fact that you have embraced the opportunity to turn your life around. You're doing
Yes.
the work, and it takes work, and it takes mindset, and it takes a belief in yourself that you want something different in your life. And when you finally realize that it's up to you and you alone, you mentioned Audrey, I have a wife too, Tommy, it's not up to them to get us on the right track. It's up to us. And I remember we took this land navigation course with the compass, the Lensatic compass that opens up. It's got the needle. It's always, it's got a dial with, 360 degrees. And they used to set up these compass courses and in the woods, in the middle of nowhere with varying terrain and all this stuff. And they would give you the course setting. And if you didn't do it right, when you came through the woods where they had all these posts set up with letters on them, you would end up with E when you should have been on C. You were only a couple degrees off, but you ended up
Right.
in a different place. My point is that your course, your journey is like a compass heading. You know what you got to do, like Jason just said. You know how to do it. I got to be walking at 100 degrees in this direction until I reach my goal.
Yes.
And if you veer off 1 degree, I can tell you, if you're not focused, you will not. You'll end up somewhere else. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. You can make a course correction, and you can say,
Yep.
okay, I need to end up at C. So what do I need to do? But the point is until you, that's
As a
right,
person.
you alone sitting in front
Yeah.
of that mirror until you finally decide to fight or you decide to write, whatever it is, whatever you have to do to improve that person who's staring
Yes.
back at you,
You know.
nothing
They
will
know.
happen. Nothing will happen.
They You can look in that mirror, and you know, as an individual, you know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So, and I know this from experience. I know what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. So when I sit there and I know what I should be doing, but here I am holding on to everything that I shouldn't be doing, but expecting some kind of miraculous result towards you
See,
know.
and I don't even like that word should. I like the word need because should might make you feel guilty or you might feel blame or you might beat yourself up.
Yes, I like that.
There's a difference.
So
What you need to be doing.
the
So,
way you speak to yourself,
yes,
right? The way you speak to yourself, you've been teaching me a lot, John. Yes.
words are powerful, and I know that if you're a fighter, to stand inside the middle of the ring after you just whipped the heck out of your opponent to win the championship. That didn't just happenstance. That was hard work. Hours and hours on the speed bag and on the lots of time. I used to love to watch the movie Rocky. And, when he finally got fired up and all the kids are chasing him, right? That's him working hard. And then even like writing, go in the bookstore. There's lots of self-help books in that section, and they're all great.
Yes.
But look at the poetry section. It's one of the smallest sections in the bookstore. But you know what it takes to write a poem? Do you know what it takes to go deep inside your psyche, to deal with thoughts and feelings and put them to paper? That's not an easy task, but it can be done. And there's great poets like Shakespeare and C.C. Cummings. And there's a lot of them, or not many of them really, but they're out there. And I have great admiration for the fighters that win championships, even those who try. At least they tried. Remember One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? And McMurtry's in the hospital, a mental hospital. He's playing crazy because he doesn't want to go back to jail. And he gives these guys around him who are in the insane asylum, he gives them hope. He walks in and acts like he's going to move this big sink that's attached to the floor. He's giving them hope. And he doesn't move it. He's gritting his teeth and he's trying to rip it off the floor. He knows he can't rip it off the floor because it's attached, right? But he stops and they're all looking at him dumbfounded. And he goes, you know what? At least I tried. He watched all these guys sitting in an insane asylum. They all thought they were crazy. Some of them might have been, but at least they tried. At least he tried. He didn't just sit there and take what life gave him. And at the end of the movie, won't give it away, I highly recommend One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. It's a great movie. And there's a deeper meaning there in that movie. Cry all you want for the position you find yourself in, but unless you take action, like Jason says, unless you decide to fight or decide to write, another shameless plug, I don't care, because I know that these programs can turn your life.
They're designed to help that next person up off their back, out of that bad spot, to turn their thought pattern around, find that passion on the inside of you that just wakes you up in the middle of the night and you want to chase after it. That's what life's about. If we sit back and we do nothing except for talk and share and read books and we become smarter and we collaborate with other organizations, we do all this stuff, but yet we're still empty, and we're still empty. That's because we're not chasing our passion. God has laid some gifts on the inside of us, and if we're not willing to step out in faith and move, well, guess what? Nothing's going to happen. John told me, Jason, the Calvary's not coming. Everything is up to you. Well, you know what? All bets off. Everything off to the side. I'm not worried about the court system and haters and people and stuff. No, I'm going to focus on me, because I know whenever God has shared and plugged on the inside of me a heart that is huge, and the will to survive and the will to push through anything in life. And dang it, I'm going to continue doing that because I am an example of resilience and redemption.
There you go.
Jason Freebird Freeman.
There you go. And so I'm going to lay it down. This is the gauntlet, right? We're throwing it down. It's Friday the 13th. It's what they say it's the global day of jihad. That's a whole other story. But why don't you get a bag of popcorn and go into your Netflix, whatever it is you got, Amazon streaming, and pick out the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right? Stay at home tonight. Do something different. Watch a movie that's got a really good message. And then when you're done with that, visit jasonfreebirdfreeman.com and check out the Decide to Fight program. It's there. There's a little bit of explanation. Or visit mine, johntkrotec.com, and check out HEARTSCRIBES. All I can say is this: we appreciate you. We have great respect for the journey of life. We've had to change our mindsets more than once. It's called believing in yourself. And we want you to do the same thing. And we want you to make a decision. Make a decision to get up off the canvas. Make a decision to write about your life and who you are, what you expect or what you desire in it. And then get down on your knees, pray. Because I know from personal experience that the truth
shall set you free.
Thanks, Jason. We'll see you on the next one. Maybe we talk about jihad. I don't know. Everything is a battle, but it doesn't have to be. Love you, man. I'll see you next time. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Redemption Podcast Show. We hope you got some wisdom out of it. Don't forget, the truth
shall set you free.